Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome to the last episode of the Booty League podcast for the 2021 no, just 2021 season, right?
Yeah.
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 How was your season, guys? One a heck of a season.
It was a spicy season, that's for sure, just like usual.
Mm,
Yeah, I think it was
Uh,
spicy for a lot of people. There was so many middle of the pack teams.
yeah.
I mean, everybody look 6-8 all the way to 8-6 is you're either ninth or no, you're either 10th or fourth. Like that's
Yep.
yeah, third. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, 10th to third. So it's like the top two
Yeah.
and the bottom two kind of held their spots. Jonathan, just a quick question for you: how does it feel to be, sophomore year to be back-to-back regular season champs?
Oh,
Oh,
well, I think he'll join us soon.
all right. We'll jump into our waiver claims for the week. We had 14 new waiver claims on Tuesday, and like 6 more today, 8 more today.
Mhm.
Um, So just
Oh,
it's
Jonathan's
not that
back. Jonathan,
Oh, sorry.
it's okay.
you're good.
Let's hop through the waivers and then we'll hop back to the your question, Chris.
All right. Nothing too spicy in the waivers at this time of the year. We have 10 Joe Burrow to tie for 10 fab, 2 bids. Justin Jackson to Jonathan for 5 fab. There were 3 bids. Royce Freeman to Marcus for 5 fab, 2 bids, and Christian Kirk to Royce for $0. And but the spicy one for that one there was 5 bids.
5 bids. Yeah, that's crazy.
Did you want him?
I did want. I put him. I was last priority on the waivers, so my bid was at
Uh,
the bottom.
Okay, yeah, I did want him to. Well, what were your thoughts on this week's waivers?
Um, Justin Jackson, good pickup, but Austin Eckler looks like he is trending towards playing. I'm not sure.
Mm.
2 limited practices in, but there's room for re-injury there. Christian Kirk was a good pickup, but I think what's your opinion on this? But AJ Green,
AJ Green.
who's the
I,
number one?
I couldn't tell who was the number one between AJ Green and Christian Kirk. So it's kind of a coin toss. But since AJ Green's already out, you kind of want that shot. Like no one else is gonna kind of give the upside, especially if DeAndre Hopkins is done for the rest of the regular season. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's definitely different now that you're the one and
Hmm.
you're in the number one role rather than a complimentary role. You can see that with like Russell Gage or like anybody else that's had like their number ones
Yeah,
out.
gotcha.
Anybody
Uh,
you want, Jonathan, before you leave us again on the waiver
Anyone I
wires?
want off the wire?
You have
Um,
$30 left. You could have gone
no.
anybody. Your pick of the litter, dude.
No, I think I'm good with my team. I mean, the people I was talking to Chris before the podcast. Like now, I want the handcuffs for my own players, but everyone for Miles Sanders is taken, and everyone for Michael Carter is taken, and then Najee Harris handcuffs or any Pittsburgh handcuff hasn't proven to be useful in like
mhm,
when James Conner used to get injured all the time.
mhm.
Piggybacking off of that, what is your guys' opinion on the trade deadline? And would you like maybe in Jonathan's case, he's near the end of the season, he might want to trade for like a Boston Scott or a Jordan Howard, and in return you can get those like I don't know whoever to help you out.
Jonathan
I'm
was saying
sorry, I lagged so hard I couldn't hear a single thing you said.
Jonathan.
I think you guys might have to do this without me.
Oh yeah, he's frozen right now on my screen. Is he frozen on
Yeah,
your
he's
screen?
frozen on my screen, but
Yeah.
Chris.
Yeah. If I was in Jonathan's position, I'd probably be trading. I'd probably start trading my bench pieces just to secure those handcuffs.
Okay, well, I think Jonathan's internet connection is too laggy right now.
Yeah.
He just told us that he won't be joining us for the which sucks because we can also actually we can read out his bracket for him.
Yeah, we can read out his back for him. Um,
Okay.
and I was gonna. Yeah, let's jump into the shot bets for the week. Um, this week we had Amir Abdullah 5.5 uh, over under between the last week's podcast guest and host. Chris James David had the over for 5.5.
I can't believe he hit the under. I don't. I was so lit. I don't even remember making any of these bets until until I
Dude,
read them off on the document.
dude, if you read it, like your shot bets are different from your predictions, which
Are
we'll
they?
talk about later. It was scuffed. I was like,
What?
you chose Jonathan to win here, but then you chose Vince Hook to win in the lower bracket part. Like I don't get it.
Wait, what do you mean?
Like you made the shot, but you're like, oh, I want Jonathan to win here, and then in our predictions, you know how we have the head-to-head analysis prediction.
Uh
You
huh.
wrote Vince Hook, and I'm pretty sure you said Vince Hook.
Did I?
Yeah,
When
it's
did
like, it's
that was
scuffed.
this one? When did I say Jonathan?
You put it was you and I teaming up for like all of these.
Okay, whatever, dude.
Okay, and I will talk about how scuffed your predictions were. Let me see your guesses awards. So yeah, so Royce and Nick won that shot bet. Chris James David had the payout. We had Jonathan versus Vince Hook. Um, Chris and David to Jonathan, so we have to pay that one out. Also, Ty versus Royce. Chris, David, Ty had Ty winning. So James, Royce, Nick have to pay out because Ty won that head to head. And then the analysis head to head. I didn't write everyone else's down, so just between you and I. David almost had a perfect score again, 5. And then
Yeah, my the
John,
we
go ahead.
my prediction almost happened where Marcus, you, me, and James are all out of the playoffs.
Yeah,
That would have been great, but
that would have been lit.
whatever. It's
And
fine.
then so I have to pay that one out. I have 3 shots. David has 2 shots. James has 2. Royce and Nick both have 1. Yeah, good way to close out the shot bets for the year. Let's pay that one up.
All right, Jonathan's trying once again.
I'm
All right,
I'm trying again.
are you
I
gonna take
All
closed some
right,
stuff.
are you gonna take a shot bet with or shots with this, Jonathan? Close out the
Sure, why
year.
not?
you don't
I
have to.
will.
You don't have
This
to.
is cold soju, but I'll do
You're
it.
done with finals, right?
Yeah, I've done with finals and I
This
had
is 3. I'm
midterm,
gonna
so
splash this one up more.
Okay, I have
all
two,
right.
so
So
cheers.
this is 3. Is this good enough? Y'all good with this?
Oh, yeah, that's good.
All right.
Damn, kind of want some chips.
That's
Are you
about a
big?
shot.
Are you a big soju guy?
No, but I just have some. I think I always have some because anytime I go out, it's like easy to bring.
That's true.
Two.
Here's this. Oof. Hopefully it's better. What are your thoughts on being the back-to-back champ before we get into the next regular season champ? Excuse me. I'm not
Um,
gonna jump the gun too early and jinx you yet.
I think same result as last season, but like the journey to get there was a lot different. I think last season was like I got pretty lucky with the schedule. I think
Mhm.
when I used that FF Hub website, I had like the best possible schedule for myself for at least in like a game or two worth. But
Uh-huh.
this season, I mean, I have the highest points against. I don't think I had an easy schedule this year.
Mhm.
So I think it's like last season, I was not confident. Like when I won, I was when you guys did that lottery or that thing that where David sent someone $10 if they guessed the bracket right. I did
Yeah.
not vote for
I
myself,
did
but
that.
yeah, you gave
No,
you.
I sent out the money.
Oh, you Chris
Oh,
did. Chris
Chris,
Yeah,
did.
Chris
yeah.
Yeah,
did.
yeah,
Which I'll be doing again if you listen to this podcast. So we'll talk about our bracket later.
yeah.
And
But this season, I would pick myself.
this is Marcus's last chance to redeem the 20 shots. After this episode airs, it's void.
Okay.
I've been
It-
told he knows about it.
oh
Really?
man.
Yes, I've been told he knows about it.
Oh
Who's
man.
all right? Whatever. Well, he hasn't approached me, so
Who's snitching, dude? All right. All right.
it's probably the people that go to the meeting. So like
That's
Vintuk,
true.
Probably.
Royce, and me.
Maybe
But
he's saving it.
okay.
Good thing this is the last pod anyway. So,
Yeah.
uh, our spicy week last week, you know, only 1 and 2, and then 11 and 12 secured their spots. So everyone was playing for a playoff spot. David versus Marcus. David won. Chris versus James. James won. Vintook versus Jonathan. Vintook won. Ty versus Royce. Ty. Nick versus Yi. Nick. And then Michael versus Timmy. Michael almost making that comeback, but Timmy pulled it off. Hit his highs this week. Um, so David got 5 out of 6 right, and then Chris got 3 out of 6 right in the shot bets. So I was saying, for some reason, we were talking, we were betting on Jonathan Vintook game, and Chris, David's bet on Jonathan with me, but in the doc here, he put Vintook. So I don't know what happened, if he's hedging his bets or whatever, but
Yeah.
or he was just too lit.
I was too in the moment. I said host versus field. Let's fucking go. But when I was sober, I picked the right person.
What thoughts on last week's games, Jonathan?
Yeah, I mean, Timmy and everyone had their eyes on Timmy and Michael's matchup. That was really good.
Mm-hmm.
I think even David's, I wasn't on the pod last week, but I thought David's prediction, or whatever he would call it, was my ideal situation. Because I really think Marcus has the best team in the league, and so I didn't want him in. But this is also best case scenario for me. I know we'll get to the bracket later, but I think Timmy definitely has the harder side of the bracket.
Has the other side of the bracket. Okay. What do you? Who did you? Is there anyone in the lower half that you didn't want to face?
No, I think anyone in the lower bracket I would be glad to face.
Okay.
There's
David's
no,
like,
no.
David's like, you don't want to face my team.
We'll see about. But yeah, I mean, Michael versus Timmy. I mean, I think that's gonna be like a banger every year from now on. And now that narrative's been created, like Michael versus Timmy is always a match everybody's gonna mark on their calendar.
Yeah. It's
And
Timmy's first win against Michael in 2 years, right?
yeah, I think so. So it's 3-1 right now. Royce's team, I feel like, is like combusting right at the right
Yeah.
on time, right?
Yep. Exactly.
And multiple 140 point plus games
Yeah.
coming from us at the end of the season. So I don't. Some teams are hitting their stride right at the right time. So I'm looking forward to that. Like Vin, James, Michael, and Timmy, like putting up huge numbers. So we'll see how that fares in the
Okay.
playoffs.
Any other thoughts on the standings or the playoffs and all that stuff, Jonathan?
No, I think, like I said before, I think the best teams made it to the playoffs. That's pretty
Okay.
much it. Yeah, I think Ni maybe, but I think David said it. Vinny's team just doesn't seem like it's like it was the opposite of what everyone else is. They're like peaking at the right time. His team is not peaking at the right time.
He also he should be in right now. He messed up.
Yeah,
He
CD
overstepped.
Lamb, the CD Lamb
yeah,
situation.
that would have
Yeah.
that was the difference.
And then also, like, if very unfortunate, Tyler Higbee late, Monday night, like COVID test, like,
Yeah.
and what sucks, it was a false positive.
Oh, so he didn't even have it.
He didn't even have it. Like, he's like good to go now or something. Like, he's back in
CD
it.
was good to go.
No, not CD. Tyler
Higbee on
Higbee
Monday.
this past week on Monday.
Yeah.
He was a false positive. So I guess like today he's like back at the practice facility, like he's chilling or something like
That's
that.
pretty troll.
That
Yeah.
sucks because, like, you never know. That could have been a way closer game.
Maybe that's just like your booty gods punishing him.
Yeah.
For oversleeping.
Yeah,
Yeah.
oversleeping.
I mean, the way he's been managing his, like, he's like no moves, no nothing for
Yeah.
like the first half. It's like no
Yeah.
justice if he
Yeah.
would have
Yeah.
made it.
I
Right?
mean, when he drafts, his like fingers are like have like are Cheeto filled, and he's just like licking his thing while he's eating Cheetos and like on his iPad.
And then his like he's like this on his phone. Like
Yeah,
just
exactly.
scrolling through, right? Like
Yep.
like his like whatever is on his phone, I don't know, but
Oh
it's
man,
pretty hilarious.
never change.
He doesn't
All right.
give an F.
He doesn't care.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I'm pretty bummed, but I got it over it a lot quicker than I thought it would have.
Yeah. At least for you, it was over quick. It wasn't like Michael, where he felt like he had a chance coming into Monday. It was like a tease.
Yeah.
Like
50
Thursday
points.
night.
50 points with 3 players is hard, though.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. But he got close. He got really close.
Yeah, I think the last few plays he was sweating buckets,
Yeah.
but like it wasn't really close until like when James Conner scored his like second touchdown, and then he was like 10 points, and then he's like, "Oh shit!"
Mhm.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That's true. It was like super like last second, right? Like where
Yeah.
we were just
It's
all
like, oh shit, one Hail Mary, and they
yeah.
need to Hail Mary, and he
Yeah.
has D Hop in. Like,
Mhm.
the
Yeah.
stars were
And the
aligned.
kicker.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
let's jump into our this is my regular season awards, okay? So I kind of came up with this. I it's not don't blame David if you're mad at this. Um but so my regular season awards, you know, we do have the booty, right? We respect the booty, so all my awards are after the booty. I have 5 awards to give out for the regular season. We have the athletic booty, which is like your hardest working, you know, like they worked for their booty. You know, it wasn't natural, it wasn't fake. Then we got the damn girl you grown up, or the ugly duckling booty, the one where it's like, you know, you started off flat, the ugly duckling in high school, and then you grow up and you're like, oh goddamn, you know, at your 10-year reunion, you see her,
Hmm.
and then you got your BBL booty, the fakest team, probably worst team in the playoffs that shouldn't be there.
Oh,
Oh.
Um,
in the playoffs.
Yeah, and
Okay.
then yeah, I mean, so I would say that's where it is because the fakest, like the probably shouldn't be where with all the other top tiers, and then you got the flattest booty, the worst regular season manager, and then you got the thickest 3 C's, best regular season manager awards. So I'm gonna just go one by one, and I want to have you guys guess it. Okay. So the
Okay.
first one we got that at one more time we got the athletic booty, the hardest working manager. Who do you guys think is the hardest working manager of this season?
Hmm. Do you got anyone, Jonathan?
I would say it's Michael because
Okay.
he was dealing in person and over Messenger and online. So he was always on it. And he
Mhm.
has the biggest, I think, trades of the season in terms of value.
Um, I'd probably give first to Michael, but then I'd also give Ty an outside shot. I think Ty really turned the narrative on himself
Mm, okay.
around this year.
Mm,
I mean, I feel like in past years, maybe Ty wasn't the most involved in his team.
Mhm.
Or it could have been just that Austin Eckler, Leonard Fournette stack
Yeah.
that was
Yeah.
carrying
um,
him. So it's hard to say if because I don't watch Ty closely, but just like face value, I think Ty turning his team around, making moves,
Okay.
did pretty good job too.
All right. So my runner up for Chris's athletic booty award, right? So second team athletic booty goes to David. Yeah.
yeah, David's another good choice.
David did have 96 transactions, all types, 6 trades, had a bunch of losses and pulled together like 5 out of 6 wins to end it.
I
Gave
have
it,
like 4 losses with
yeah.
sub 70, 4 wins with sub 70 points scored.
So, made a lot of moves, put himself in there, but my hardest working booty manager does go to Michael.
Mm.
103 transactions. Um, yeah, he did have a rough looking team, made questionable trades. Like everyone's kind of roasting him, but he did come out on top of more than half of them, right? Like a majority of them, he did come out on top of. So I'm gonna give it to Michael there. All right, so my damn girl, you grown up, booty, where they started off flat but finally grown. Um, you're you could say in season most improved for the most part. Let's start with whoever wants to take it first. In season most improved.
In season most improved.
That's where I put it at. Like,
I think there's two obvious answers here.
mm,
And
All
I
right.
think the two obvious answers, you want to go first?
No, you go first. You go first.
I think it's either got to be Ty or Vintuk because Vintuk's team was absolute shit like the first 3 weeks. It was god awful. And he's made the playoffs, and I think he's definitely one of the top 4 or 5 teams in the league.
But
However you
but how
wanna.
much did he change?
He didn't
Nothing, right?
change.
He just
He
kept
didn't
it.
change. That's true.
Alright, but I see where you're coming from though.
Yeah. Ty too. Ty also I didn't think have that good of a team, but he's made the playoffs.
mhm.
Yeah, I think Vintuk's a good one because if we're going with the started off like ugly and then you grew to be like good looking or whatever your perception of being. I don't mean to,
Yeah.
objectify
We're just
fantasy
talking about.
managers. But he like stayed his core was that he didn't change himself. If we're going
Okay.
with that narrative, I'd have to give it to Vin.
Okay.
I gotta say, both of these guys, like, they started off ugly, but they didn't turn into like models or like bombshells. Like they're just like ugly until to like 7 out of 10s.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, 7 out of 10, solid.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So my you know what I didn't think about Vintuk because he didn't have the right amount of moves. Again, another runner up, a bridesmaid, not a bride. David
Oh, I
gets
feel
us
like my
Again.
team is still shit, dude.
started off flat, but finally growing only because he like almost made the playoffs. Like to see David at 7-7, I would not have pictured. I would not have said that like 6 weeks ago.
Let me just read off my running backs and wide receivers for him.
Oh man. But the award does go to Ty because he didn't make a lot of moves either, but he is 8-6. And he had like a 6 game win streak to make the playoffs. I think
Yeah.
his team is kind of finally hitting his stride. And yeah, so my damn girl you grown up award does go to Ty.
Oh, okay.
All right, so my BBL team, the fakest team, probably, or you would argue the worst team in the playoffs, right? So like, not saying they're they're the worst team. They're not a bottom six team, but just the worst team. Maybe they shouldn't be there. You could make that argument, but probably the worst team in the playoffs. What are your thoughts on this one?
This one's a hard one.
Yeah,
They're all
I think your answer is gonna be my team or me. But
Mm.
if I had to answer myself, I would probably. This is tough for me because I'm in the playoffs, so I don't want to say anything and then like end up as a cold take. But I would say Timmy's team is the weakest in the
Oh.
playoffs. I would say Timmy's team, and it's close, but I think it's pretty obviously Timmy's team. I think the other 4 teams in the playoff are stronger than Timmy's team.
I don't think Timmy's team is that bad. It's definitely close. It's like nitpicking here, but
Mm.
the worst team might be. It's hard to say because some of these teams they're in the playoffs because their players have had like really good recent success. So
Yeah.
it's like hard to fight like big name versus recent success of like smaller names.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd say maybe Timmy or Vin, just based on team, just my
Okay.
eyeball test.
Okay.
But Jonathan is also like I don't think
Yeah.
Jonathan is the strongest team out there for sure.
No.
Fair. Fair. All right. So my runner up for this is Timmy. He has the second lowest points for in that top half right there. Not that it's any better than the bottom six, but he didn't make too many moves. And he has had some pretty low outings. The winner for this BBL award is Vintuk. This is the
Mm.
only scenario where he is 8-6 and he has the lowest points for going into the playoffs. So,
Mhm.
yeah, every other schedule he's like 7-7. Probably wouldn't make it in on that merit. And he's and then even more so, he has like even rougher schedules down the road. So it does go to Vincent there. All right,
He's had dirty wins. He's had very dirty wins.
yeah,
The
yep,
first 3 wins, I
Yeah,
think, were
we're like
yeah,
dirty.
they're
Were
disgusting,
dirty, dirty,
disgusting.
dirty.
Hey, but you know what? I'm just a hater, dude. Like I'm giving you this award,
Royce,
but
he's just farming Royce, dude. I-
oh man, I'm just from the outside looking in. That's just so that's my BBL award. All right, the flattest booty, the worst regular season manager. Who do you guys
hmm.
got here?
The worst regular.
worst regular season.
This one's hard.
This one is tough.
Okay. To-
You go first.
I think I'll go. It's hard, but I think for I think it's not for a lack of trying, but I think James is kind of doo doo. Like No, he tries. He's all analytics, but he just has the worst luck. I don't know if it's
Yeah.
this year, but like the moves he's made are like the exact worst
Yeah.
moves to make.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And they've
Like
looked good.
all
They look good at
hindsight too.
first.
All
Yeah.
hindsight. So
Yeah, all hindsight, absolutely.
yeah.
You know. I mean, it's got to be Vigny, right? Because his
That's
management is
good.
why he's not in the playoffs. It's like that's like a
Oh,
pretty
that's good.
that's the most significant thing. Like losing a week because like you started the wrong player is completely different than like sleeping in and like missing that a guy is out. He didn't even make the wrong decision.
Mhm.
Like people make wrong decisions, but he just didn't even wake up to make that decision.
Mhm. All right, so my runner-up was James was a good one. James was a thought. So James and Royce would share that second place. But I did write down Royce, just because we can't say on the pod all year manager diff and not include him in this conversation. But the winner of the flattest booty does go to Vigny. Jonathan's thinking the way I'm thinking for sure. So it is there's no reason he's not in the playoffs right now. I think if he's 7-7, um, you know, wakes up for his for that, and that's like all the difference right there.
And it
So
wasn't even a morning game. Like that's like it was like
yeah,
a noon game, right? Like a
it was like a
1:30.
Thursday. It was a Thursday 1:30 game. He's like, dude, I overslept. I was like, what the fuck, dude? I thought he was working Thanksgiving. Like, oh man,
Yeah, he's
poor guy.
working.
That's like poor guy, dude. He's at Target. They're freaking working him like a dog over there. But
He deserved that L.
yeah, absolutely. All right, so thickest booty. You got the best regular season manager. Thoughts on this, David? Let's start off with you. Or
Well, I think we kind of hit that instant. The first one to come to mind is we kind of went over this at the beginning of the podcast. Jonathan, I mean, he's had a pretty rough. If he had any other like type of anybody else's schedule, he would be like, or he has the most points for, and he's still 9-5, which is like pretty good because you have to put out. And I think when we handed out the midseason Jeopardy, the person who played their closest to their best possible line of every week was Jonathan. I haven't checked, like he's been on a losing streak since that podcast came out, so I haven't checked the numbers again. But I would have to give it to Jonathan first.
Okay.
Yeah, this one I think is as like almost like the hardest working. This one I'm gonna guess is like more lineup decision based, and frankly I don't know. This one I really don't know. I think maybe Marcus because he's just made really impactful waiver pickups. Like he doesn't make many, but the ones he makes, he really he either strikes gold every time or he just like I don't know, he has like some insight. Like his Cordarrelle pickup and then like his like management. Like his team has had so many bad injuries and he's still in the playoffs. Like and I think that's really
But
really impressive.
how much is that because he had Cordarrelle?
Dude, Cordarrelle's
Right?
a
And no,
bot, dude.
he just fucking oh what? My running back got injured? Put Cordarrelle in. Oh what?
Oh.
DK's injured? Cordarrelle, dude.
Dude, broken,
They're both
dude. That
healthy.
shit.
I'm gonna
We
just
gotta
put
patch
Cordarrelle.
this shit out, dude. Oh my god,
Dallas
that
Scar
shit's
is
broken.
out. Cordarrelle. I mean, I need an IDP play. Cordarrelle, dude.
Jesus.
I know. And it makes me upset because during the preseason, I held on to Wayne Gallman, hoping that he would be
He was
the guy.
yeah.
And everyone on Reddit was jerking off about Wayne Gallman, and then Cordarrelle Patterson just like came out and just like owned the whole backfield and receiving core.
Yeah, for sure. Probably the pickup of the year there. So I did not have a second place for this. I have Jonathan as the thickest booty. Regular season manager.
Nice.
The third most transactions at 83. I'm pretty sure third or fourth, right up there. 7 trades. Second most points for, and then you have a tough schedule with the points against. Back to back. One seeds isn't something to scoff at. So I do have to give it there. If I did have to give it a runner up, I don't know who my runner. It would probably be Nick, actually. To be honest,
Nick
both
was a
of
good
us
Did
choice
make
too,
some
yeah.
pretty good
Yeah.
pickups, I have to admit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's dealt with some injuries. He put the money out for some handcuffs. He had a miss, but he's up there with the most points for at 1601 in the playoffs as the third seed. So yeah, I'd probably say Nick is the runner up and Jonathan is the thickest. All right.
Well deserved.
Just so you guys, just so the listeners aren't so mad at me, what would you guys say if you had to choose one for me to be one of these? I obviously didn't include myself.
Oh, true.
A runner up for this, one of these awards, or a winner of these awards. Would you have me as the athletic booty, the damn girl you're gonna? Probably not that because I started off hot and I'm not doing too well.
I was gonna say you'd be the opposite of number
Yeah,
two.
I'd be the opposite of two. I'd be the what do you call it? The high school like
Yeah, the jock that is like
yeah,
homeless now.
Peaked in
yeah.
high school or
Back
The
something.
peaked in high school,
Peak
right?
high school.
Hmm.
Would you have the BBL, the flattest booty, thickest booty, or you can make up like the peaked in high school, whatever. What would you guys give me just so the listeners aren't like, what the fuck is he? Who is he
Um,
to give me these awards or to not give me these awards?
I would say yeah, peaked in high school or hardest worker. I think from my standpoint, your trades, I would have done the exact trades you did, and would have done them over and over again. I think they were good trades at the moment. They didn't really work out,
Yeah,
but
hindsight.
I thought they were. I'm not like Timmy who screams rape, but I actually thought a lot of the ones that you did were really, really one-sided trades.
Uh,
That's why you can. That's why like you can't veto because you don't know.
yeah,
Yeah, you don't
you never
know.
know. Yeah,
You never know.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a good
David,
one.
any thoughts here? All right.
Um, it's like with you, it's like at the beginning of the year, you're kind of like the thickest booty, but
Uh-huh.
then as like it's like you started aging, and so like what was thick in high school isn't really thick anymore. So you kind of went to like kind
Yeah.
of flat. So now
I,
at
Saggy.
the end of the season,
I
you're
had the
kind
two
of like
kids.
you're
I
like
didn't
kind of
take
the
care of my
flattest booty
body.
now. I think you're the flattest. You started off thickest booty, and
Yeah.
you're like, damn, for like a high schooler, that's nice. But then like you didn't grow. That was it. You're fine. You're
Yeah.
done. And then at the end of the season, you're kind of the flattest booty. So.
Alright. I'm gonna put that as a note for next year. The peaked in high school, the opposite of number two as an award for next year. All right. Yeah. So that's my regular season awards. Since this is our last podcast, the only other award you can get is either the toilet or the Vanny. Excuse me. I'm
Oh,
gonna
I
call it by
have
the proper name
another. I have another
or the
award.
booty.
I have
Go ahead.
another. I just thought of it.
Go ahead. Go
We'll
ahead. Go
What
ahead.
have
is it?
the Walter Payton Booty of the Year award right here.
So
So
the
the
most
manager that did the most community service.
Mm.
so
Boom.
bring on the
Walter.
best
The
players.
Walter Payton Booty of the Year award. I think this one goes to Jonathan. I think Jonathan says, "You need a running back. $5. You need a running back.
Oh.
$5." Like Jonathan was just doing all these minor. Like if you had cash on hand and you needed something, you could always go to Jonathan, and Jonathan will always do. So Jonathan, I think, gets the Walter Payton Booty of the Year award
Okay.
just for
Yeah.
your
Okay.
philanthropy. And I mean, the $30 he has right now for waiver pickups, courtesy of Royce or courtesy of
Vintuk.
Ty
Vintuk.
Vintug.
Vintug.
Adrian
Yeah,
Peters. That's Adrian Peterson
that's
money right there.
Adrian Peterson. That's Vintug's money right now. So yeah.
All right.
Yep.
So we don't have head-to-head matchups. We're not going to go into too much more depth. We just have our booty bracket and toilet bracket predictions. Um, just a reminder, the toilet bracket is the booty brackets are the winners, and the toilet bracket is the losers. Like the losers are going to move up into the standings. Um, you guys will get a chance to do your own. I should probably put that out earlier. And then if you guys see this video, you guys might have probably done it already, right? Same thing goes. I'm gonna put out $10, a little Venmo, or a little gift card thing, just to make it interesting. All losers, I'm gonna up the ante this year. All losers, 2 shots. All losers are two
Mm.
shots.
Oh, I want to touch on that. Do you get to take any shots for being the worst fantasy analyst?
Oh, like between
Because
us two?
between me and you, because I'm at 61%.
Oh,
You're at 57%.
I'm
Oh.
higher than the field right now. What do you think? Like, is this something for next year? I've been taking shots all year because of
All
this, so
right,
there's that too.
all right, true, true. Just
We think about we should have an award. We should up the ante a little bit and maybe even bet against force us to bet against ourselves. some weeks.
I think the field should take shots for being trash analyst
He has
clowning us for our picks, dude.
There's
Right?
there's that too. There's
Um,
that too. All right, I'm gonna share my screen so you can see their predictions. We're gonna start off with David. I think this is the easiest way for David to kind of pull it up on the pod,
Yeah,
right?
I got your screen right here.
All right.
So
Talk through yours a little bit.
okay,
Let's start with the booty bracket. Winners only, right?
yeah, it's hard to project like week 16 and 17 into the future because we don't know what will be there. So this is just like not based off of matchups or anything. It's just like eyeball test. Like, do you have the firepower?
yeah,
In my opinion.
yeah.
So
I didn't really look into matchups either.
yeah, it's like
Yeah.
injuries, blah 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 blah,
Yeah.
right? So Ty versus Vintuk, I do have Vintuk
Oh
squeaking this
wow.
one out. Why? Because this is the only matchup I can see. I think Eckler banged up and Fournette versus New Orleans. I think Fournette versus New Orleans is the only bad game that Fournette has had. So right here, 5 points versus New
But
Orleans.
Gio is out. Gio's gonna be out. So Gio
Gio
actually had
was
a good
out in that. Gio didn't have a good game in that week. He just
against New
had like
Orleans,
2 catches or something. Let
and
me see.
he had like a touchdown. He had like a pretty big
Oh,
touchdown
he
from
had
what
one catch for one touchdown. You're right.
I remember that
one
because I wanted
catch
to
for
use
a
the
one catch for a 7-yard touchdown. Oh, so scared of Gio. But I think New
But Gio's
Orleans
out now. So yeah, okay, go ahead.
New Orleans is pretty good against Mike Evans and I guess apparently Leonard Fournette. And Austin Eckler is pretty banged up this week. He does get Keenan Allen back. I'm talking about Ty. And on the flip side, I think Evans does have a pretty bad matchup against New Orleans. I think it's Lattimore, right?
Yeah, it seems like
And
Lattimore always owns him.
he's just gonna go to like anybody. Tom Brady's just gonna go to anybody else. That reminds me, actually, I'll make a pickup later. Javonta Williams is, I think, peaking right at the right time. I think he won't be putting up 20-point games as he was before, but the talent is still there against Chicago. And Renfro is a certified high-end wide receiver too at this point. We have to give him the respect he deserves.
Yeah.
And Kamara, I think it's just good for like whatever. So I think Vin wins this one out just based off of Leonard Fournette and Eckler may not being playing at 100%. On the flip side of the bracket, we have Marcus versus Nick. Who did I pick here? Nick. Why Nick? Mostly because of Saquon, David Montgomery, and Cooper Kupp. I mean, he's gonna be at the Rams game rooting for Cooper Kupp, so the storyline is
Mm,
there. Cooper Kupp's gonna put a monstrous game up.
Oh.
The one thing I don't like about and he took him out, but I don't like Terry McLaurin. I don't think Nick should play Terry McLaurin, but I just don't think Marcus has the firepower. But I don't think DK has the juice left. Not he has the juice, but like he hasn't been performing that well, and that might not be the correct play there. So that's why. Moving quickly, I have Jonathan versus Vin. I have Jonathan winning. Timmy versus Nick. I actually have Timmy winning this one just
mhm.
because I think his wide receiver stack is really nice. And by that time, Hendog might be back back to help Timmy out. And for the championships, I'm going to go with the hot take and I'm going to say Timmy wins his first championship. I don't know. It's
Ooh.
just because I
Okay.
don't want Johnson to go back to back, So
Okay.
I'm gonna go Timmy. And on the
Okay.
toilet side, I have myself versus Michael. I have Michael moving on, so losing to me. I think Connor being out or being day to day and Chase Edmonds coming back with D Hop out for the rest of the season, allegedly, will help
Mhm.
me will help me a lot.
Mhm.
Chris versus me. I actually have Chris's team is actually kind of strong. Aaron Jones coming back, Kittle playing out of his mind is I think there's too much variability with Yee's team in
Oh,
my
sorry.
opinion.
Mhm.
And Chase, with the emergence of T. Higgins, I don't think Chase is as good of a play as he used to be in the beginning of the season.
Okay.
But besides that, Mike Davis, you hate to play him. He's been playing well, right? But
You
you hate
playing
it
Mike
doesn't
He's been
Davis?
doing.
it
He
doesn't
has.
it doesn't feel good though.
No,
Yeah.
it doesn't.
It
He's
does,
gonna
but
play Mike Davis?
He's been scoring touchdowns. Yeah, he's been playing him.
he's been playing him. He's been rolling him out. And
Mm.
oh wait, he doesn't have Jonathan Taylor. Jonathan Taylor's on the
Yeah,
bench.
I think that
Oh, this
was
might change things. Actually, I didn't
yeah.
look. All right,
Yeah, look.
I still have Chris winning. Chris, you gotta pull this one out.
I got you. I got you, fam. I got
James
you.
versus Knee. Actually, I didn't realize with Jonathan Taylor. I think I might have James moving on. Let me change or. But I do eventually have Royce
Oh.
losing in the toilet to James.
Okay.
Mm,
Okay.
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 All right. Let's move on to. So we got. This, if you're watching, you saw it, you heard it. Let's move into Jonathan's predictions down here.
Okay, so first matchup, Ty versus Vintuk again. I got Vintuk winning this. I think Vintuk's team, I think both of these teams are so like incredibly equal. I think it's gonna be a really close matchup. But I think what really tipped me over was the Leonard Fournette matchup against New Orleans. Like New Orleans rush defense has been really good lately, and I also think um, I think Vintuk. I think when everything's equal, you look at defense and kicker, and I think Vintuk has the best defense and the best kicker for this week.
Okay.
I'm kicking myself for dropping Folk. I didn't mean
Surprise.
that, but yeah, because I thought New England when I had them, I was like, okay, New England's offense is just not good enough to get into the end zone, but good enough to get, to kick field goals. But their offense just looks incredible now, so they're kicking field goals and scoring touchdowns. Then Marcus versus Nick. I've said it all season. I think Marcus's team is the best team easily, and it's gonna be a shame if he wins. Like it's shame on all of us if he wins because he didn't even draft.
I might start doing that next year.
Yeah, it's
It's
just
viable now.
it's incredible. Two tight ends, two quarterbacks. Michael Thomas. It doesn't even matter. He made the playoffs, and I think he has the strongest team. And
Once
and
again, going back to your prediction, picking up Cordero helps, right? Like Michael
Yeah.
Thomas, right? Like I'm just gonna put
Cordarrelle
Cordero.
clears.
yeah.
Cordarrelle is the cure to everybody's problems,
Holy
dude.
shit!
Yeah.
Unreal. All right, so you got
Yeah.
Marcus between Nick and then Marcus Timmy.
Then Marcus Timmy. I'm gonna say Marcus beats Timmy. I think. I mean, like Timmy said, Nick's team is scarier than Marcus's. I think Nick's team is better than Timmy's team. So if Marcus can beat Nick's team, I think Marcus could beat Timmy's team. I think because of that, I think Timmy's team, he lacks the floor because his running backs aren't the greatest.
Yeah.
And so he really like when your wide receivers are your best guys, you can't have a guaranteed floor every week, especially when they're like Javonta and Tyreek have shown. I mean, at least Tyreek. I don't know about Javonta, but Tyreek's shown that he could be schemed out of games, especially with the Chiefs' struggles this year. So I think I got Marcus, and then going back to mine and Vintuk's, I think Vintuk got the better of me this last time, but I think I'm gonna go 2 out of 3 this season against him. I think it's gonna be a repeat of week 3, and I'm gonna beat him, but he will be a worthy opponent. The winner, I'm gonna say, I mean, in my heart, I want to say myself, but
Oh.
I really think Marcus's team is good. And the reason why I'm not wearing the belt today is because I don't want you guys to even, I don't want the viewers to see the belt. I don't need anyone to have any more motivation to win. But and I want to keep it where it is because it's not. I don't think it's gonna leave, but I'm gonna pick myself.
Oh. So it's gonna take a stroke of luck.
It's gonna take a stroke of luck. Yep. I'm gonna hope Calvin Ridley comes back on like week 17 and takes all the touches from
Oh
him.
my
And he's
god.
gonna go like Debo Samuel, and he's gonna play running back and wide receiver, and Cordarrelle's gonna have to play safety.
Okay.
And
Damn.
then for the toilet,
That's a big ask.
In before Cordero gets like 2 pick sixes as a safety.
Yeah, I guess too. That's nasty. But then he stays on the field for the offensive snaps.
All
Ah,
right, the toilet bracket
okay.
predictions. What do
Toilet
you got down
bracket,
here?
David versus Michael. I got David winning, and I got Michael moving on. I like David discussed. I think the injuries to Michael have really hurt him. It's like DeAndre Hopkins like tried his best to make Hopkins and Connor tried their best to try to get Michael into the playoffs, but they didn't have any more gas left after that effort. Chris versus Knee. I got Chris losing to Knee. I think Knee's team is good. If he does like if he sets his lineup and all that stuff, then I think Knee will win.
that's a
I think
big
it'll be close.
if.
Yeah,
That's a big.
that's a big. You never know, but I think Knee's team has enough to win, even though I think Chris's team is like on a stride. I think Chris has to play Devin Singletary this week,
Shit.
Oh,
which
shut
is
the
It's
fuck
a it's
up,
it,
dude.
it's a wait and see. It's a wait and see for me for sure, dude. I don't even know.
which is never a good thing. I I've drafted Devil Singletary both seasons, and I've held him for 90% of both seasons. I mean, I could have kept him last season, but yeah, it's not a good feeling to play him. So I think because of that, Chris will move on to face James, and then I think James beats Chris. I think
James
James
Chris
team.
beats
I mean,
James.
Chris beats James for
Yeah.
James to move on. Um, I think James has the worst team in the league, and I think he has this thing over his head that Dalvin Cook might not be able to play for the rest of the season. So his team is already in a rough spot, but has the volatility to be even worse. Michael and Royce, I think Royce is going to lose against Michael, and then I think James ultimately wins the toilet.
Okay. All right. Cool. Let's jump into my predictions. Week 15. Ty in the booty bracket, we got Ty versus Vintook up here. I got Ty winning. I think Ty's on a hot streak. He continues it. It just kind of reminds me of James when James won his booty. He was just on a tear, like just winning like all these games, like scoring a bunch. Um,
Oh
Down here in week
wow.
15, Marcus and
Oh,
Nick. I have Nick pulling that one off. I do think Nick's team's very strong, hits his stride. Cooper Cup's too OP right now.
Too
Nick,
OP, dude.
dude, it's unreal, right? The like the white Devonte Adams.
Yeah.
yep.
Nick and Timmy, Ty and Jonathan in week 16. Week 16, Ty and Jonathan. I got Ty winning. So
Mm.
I just feel that hot streak going along. He gets Keenan back. Just has to make the right picks in streaming. Uh, Tim, Timmy and Nick. I got Nick winning. Nick's team is the highest points for. Just really, really hot as well. And then between Ty and Nick, I got Ty just kind of making a run and getting his first step into the booty.
Wow.
You have
All right.
Ty on the
Wow.
Cinderella
I
run.
don't think he deserves it. Even if he wins, he doesn't deserve it because he didn't pick up the toilet.
True. I think he
I
keeps
think
the
it's
toilet for a year and
yes,
then he
I
That's
think
gets
so
true.
too.
That's
Yeah.
true.
the belt in the off season.
Okay.
Yeah. I think the belt should go somewhere where no one like it shouldn't even be kept at my house. It'll go somewhere
Yeah.
like safe. If
Yeah.
Ty wins.
If Ty
He-
he doesn't deserve it.
Yeah, he
That's
doesn't
fair.
deserve it.
Cuz he
That's
didn't
fair.
do his punishment either
Yeah,
yet
he
either.
didn't. Yeah. So
Well,
you don't
you and him are gonna do the punishment at the same time.
We'll see what he
Because COVID.
says.
get.
But yeah, you know what, Ty? For good luck, you should probably go pick that thing up. Who has it?
I have it.
Oh.
It's on my toilet.
All right. Um, Dave, David and Michael. Um, I have the same bracket as Jonathan's pretty much. I just have David going into the week 16 instead of Michael. But this one's a tough matchup for me to pick between David and Michael. I agree with all the other
Oh,
analysis. I do
Chris
have my
has
stuff thinking.
himself going.
Dude, I was dude.
That's
I
a
was like,
curveball, dude.
I was like, fuck it, I'm going to the toilet. And then I look at my bracket, I'm like, dude, why do I have knee week one, dude? God damn it. Like out of all the people I could have, like I'm gonna have knee week one. So yeah, that's the only I agree with Jonathan's analysis. I don't want to, draw it out for too much, but I do have I just have David going instead of, and then that's me thinking that this is gonna be a close matchup. He doesn't have D Hop, and then he doesn't have he might not have James Conner either. So could go either way. I do have David Royce losing to David. James and myself. I have myself winning this time with the run back versus James, and Royce and James, where James is the loser and wins the toilet.
All right. So
All
I
right.
think we all have pretty different brackets.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
three of us have three different winners and three different losers, right?
Yep.
And except we both agree on James, but yeah, we have 3 different winners and 2 different losers.
All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. Yep. So I'll put that up. Good luck in your booty run, or good luck in your toilet run. Yeah, that's what I have for you
Yeah.
guys. Any other
Good luck,
thoughts?
everybody. Chris, it's been a pleasure
Listen,
working with you
yeah,
as
always,
always. If you
always.
if y'all made it this far, if y'all watched all the episodes, thank you to all you guys, as always, for listening in to us. And
Mhm.
good luck on your runs, everybody. See ya.
See ya.
Later.